town. So I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. We might can start here with that little funny Querétaro sounding place. And as soon as I started digging in and doing the research, I knew instantly this was going to be our place.
When I left the United States, it was really about leaving the ways of the United States behind. Because I checked all of the boxes. I did all of the things that they said I was supposed to do, and I was miserable. I ended up being miserable.
Because people project what they hear in the US media onto you, but the US media is lying to you, baby. America has really good publicity, but like, they're like that boyfriend that's good on paper. Good on paper, baby, but in real life, please.
Empty. It's empty. It's nothing in there. Then also, I needed to have a place where it was warm, beautiful weather. We are boycotting winter. We're not doing winter anymore. And so from there, we kind of narrowed it down to, all right, let's get closer to Mexico.
Part of the nightlife that I mentioned is also live music. And there's more and more variety of music here and more Black performers.
If you go to Puerto Vallarta, Terry is going to be the one to be like, so on Tuesday at 9, this thing is happening. It's happening here. You should be there. I'll meet you there at 9:15. I'll have a table. She'll be like, these are the things that are happening now. What brought you to PV? How did you end up in Puerto Vallarta?
I actually had a neighbor in Oakland that grew up in Guadalajara, and then he moved back to Mexico, moved to PV. My wife and I missed our friend. We came to visit, and we were like, what is this place here? So we just switched it up, and instead of moving to Costa Rica, we decided to move to PV. April 2016, and by December, we came back again because of the election. We usually go to Wisconsin for Christmas, and I was like, I can't go to that swing state right now. Absolutely not. So we came back to PV, and that really solidified that it wasn't just the margaritas in April.
What about PV was like, oh yes, I could be here besides the margaritas?
I felt righter than I ever had. There was a level of unstress that was different than a typical vacation. Already Mexico is a lot safer than people hear on the news. PV in particular, for me, has another level of safety as a woman, because in the neighborhood that I'm in and where the nightlife is, there are a lot of guys who do not wish me any harm. They are preoccupied with living their life. And I also feel if there was anything going down, would be there to help.
So let's touch on real quick. You already mentioned your wife. You are an out and proud lesbian as far as I know. Yes. Let's talk about being Black and queer in Puerto Vallarta. How did that experience differ from your experience in Oakland?
I like to call Oakland Chocolate City West because there is definitely that percentage of Black people, and San Francisco being where gay guys were. Oakland was a lot where the queer women were. So it was just a great place to be a young adult and almost setting the standard for what is important for me, and to be able to level up from that. Like, sure.
Puerto Vallarta is a level up from Oakland for you?
I mean, I don't have to wear pants here. I can wear shorts all the time.
Wait.
I don't get cold. I'm dressed. I'm not naked.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to,
When I say I'm not wearing pants,
I don't have to be cold.
But okay.
Long
Yes,
pants.
please.
Long pants.
Because what is she doing down there?
I'm very informal.
Okay.
This allows me to just relax and be.
Okay. So it's good community, good weather. These are the things that are like drawing you there.
People, like the people in general. I mean, it's been great meeting a lot of my neighbors, local folks. I mean, my Spanish is improving and they are very patient, but it's interesting learning a language. I realize that you don't really have to be that embarrassed because you don't even know what you said wrong. Yeah, you don't know what you said. If they forgave you for it, just try again. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. So I'm probably in these streets saying some things, but I'm trying.
Try. That's all you can do is try.
But I'm finding that being here, there's a lot less stranger danger, for sure. A lot less. And I don't have a lot of that guardedness that I felt was necessary in the US. I still get drained as an introvert, but I like being outside more here. It's just very pleasant.
What is it that makes you like being outside more? Is it the weather? Is it the interactions?
It's visually pleasant. whether it's the natural art with the greenery, just the nature sounds. There's the ocean, there are rivers, there's murals, there's just art. It's the architecture it's hard to not see something beautiful. You will have to try very hard being rude to not say good morning, good afternoon, good night to someone, because you're going to get talked to and you're going to learn to love it. Because that really is, I think, way more natural than thinking, what is wrong with that person if they're smiling at you or if they're happy? There are things that we learned to become adults that's BS.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just feels more pure, more just able to just be.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, there is a growing lesbian population.
Okay.
Just
Is that because Puerto Vallarta or Mexico in general is more gay friendly, queer friendly, or is it for some other reason?
It's likely that. I mean, just like everyone else who has made some decisions to make change some things about their future, Mexico has that draw, and it definitely has that draw for folks like me too.
We're here to interrupt your regularly scheduled video to give you a little bit of information about Exodus Summit 2025.
Exodus Summit 2025, More Move Abroad Money, is happening online October 10th through 13th. And we want to make sure that you know what's happening so that you can get your ticket. If you've made it this far in the video, you're interested in making progress towards your own move abroad. So let's go ahead and do that. If you get your ticket to Exodus Summit 2025, what will happen? You'll learn from speakers, from Black women, exactly how to start making money in the way that they make money so that you can fund your new life, so that you can leave the United States or wherever you live today and move abroad with the money you need to support yourself.
Exodus Summit is going to be a great opportunity for you to learn from experts, to be in community with other Black women who want the same thing you want, and to make really tangible changes to your life and your trajectory.
You're going to learn trading from Terry Ijeoma. You're going to learn memberships and community from Arlen Hamilton. You're going to learn expat taxes from
Makara Santiago.
Yeah.
You're going to learn how to create premium courses from Dr. Sonia Murray. You're going to learn so much from so many Black women who are coming solely to pour into you. And one of those Black women is our keynote speaker, Rachel Rogers.
Yes. Rachel Rogers is the author of We Should All Be Millionaires. She's the founder of Hello 7. She's made it her business to make sure that Black women, that Black people, that marginalized people make money. And we're super excited about all of the speakers who are coming. And we're super excited that you'll be there, won't you?
I think they will. We'd love to see you. You can get your tickets at exodussummit.com. We do this every year because it makes a difference in the lives of Black women, and we want to make a difference in your life too. So come on down.
Okay, back to the video. Talk with our good friend Angela about her move to Mexico with an entire family. Welcome, everyone, and welcome, Angela. Hi, Angela.
Guys, hi everyone. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. You have kind of a unique story because you said we're going and the whole family's coming. You have 3 children
Mm-hmm.
and they all live in Mexico now. And they're not babies. Like you moved them when they were good sized kids.
Good size, good size.
Right? So give us some details.
This has been a plan in the making. It's probably started in like 2012. Desperately plotting, or just at least feeling like, there's got to be a better way. But the reality is that my husband, Lamar, was not ready. He wasn't ready to go. By the time we got to 2020 was probably the first time that he actually got on board with, you know what, let's go.
So you picked Querétaro as your place to move in Mexico. And
Querétaro kind of picked us. South Africa, first of all, is my first and only love.
right?
Okay. But coming close behind it as my side piece was Medellin, Colombia.
Okay.
I was ready to go to Colombia, ready. But then when Lamar got on board, he was not quite making that big a move to South Africa, all the way on the other side of the hemisphere. So I said, okay, okay, you're on board though, right? Okay, find me on this side of the hemisphere then. He wanted to be someplace, it had to be someplace that was close to the United States because he knew that our kids were more than likely going to want to go back to the States to go to college.
Okay.
So he wanted to be on this side of the hemisphere. Then also I needed to have a place where it was warm, beautiful weather. We are boycotting winter. We're not doing winter anymore. And so from there, we kind of narrowed it down to, all right, let's get closer to Mexico. And one of the big parts of it is my husband is a avid RC car racing fanatic. And so I said to him, all right, find me a place that has a track somewhere in Mexico. I don't care where it is. Find the place, just find a place, and we'll start from there. I kind of want some place that's gives me a little bit of city, but I want to have some colonial vibes. I want to have a smaller town feel. And so then he found this track that's here in this place, this weird pronounced place called Querétaro.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought, oh, okay, well, let me check it out. Let's see if it marks all my boxes. I need some place that has a modern infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, check. That has schools and universities and culture, at least a little bit of culture. Does it do that? Yes. I need some place where I can get high-speed fiber optic internet. Yes. Can I get Starbucks? Check.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me that too. And the weather is beautiful. It's almost spring-like year-round. So I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. We might can start here with that little funny Querétaro sounding place. And as soon as I started digging in and doing the research, I knew instantly this was going to be our place.
Okay.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
You guys did a scouting trip or
Sight unseen. Yep, we moved here sight unseen. I mean, we didn't book a house or what have you, but we came to Querétaro having pretty much having decided this was probably going to be our place, sight unseen.
So a lot of the women who we know who have moved to Mexico with some suitcases or some stuff. But what did your move look like as a family?
First of all, my husband is not the guy. He's not the bopper guy. We knew that it wasn't about coming to this place and trying it out and then going here and there, going there. We are essentially establishing a new home base. So it was getting rid of the stuff that we no longer wanted or needed and only selecting the best of the best. Only the best of the best. We had half a container that we shipped down here to Mexico, and we did it through the Menaje de Casa process. If you are a temporary resident, you get 6 months. When you come into the country, you get 6 months to bring all your stuff into the country duty free. And so we knew we had one shot, we could get it all in, and then that would be that. And then we decided to drive. We decided to drive our minivan from Maryland to Mexico. Getting across the border was a breeze for us. Look at God. We actually got in way earlier than we expected. So when we got there, they just looked at us. Oh, okay. And waved us through. We were like, what? Okay. So we were able to get from the border to San Luis Potosí. Once we left San Luis Potosí, we came straight to the airport and went to Cancun. And I just didn't want to have that feeling of regret. Like, oh, I really wish the kids could have that experience of living abroad. And for them, it really has been life-changing in the sense that it has opened their mind to the reality that the world is a whole lot bigger than what you think it is. Mm-hmm. And there's so much more to life than the little box that you had drawn yourself into, thinking that that's all that life is, or that's the only experience that you can have, is that what you see from America. Just the benefit of being able to have children that are able to mix and mingle in different cultures, add the bilingual side to the house to it too. You can't beat that. You really can't beat that. That's an experience that they will need and will propel them forward in such greater ways than you could ever imagine. So before we got here, that was one of my first missions, was to find the community, reach out to the community here in Querétaro and try to get to know what's it like? What are the schools like? Because there are pretty much two major international English speaking schools here in Querétaro. There might be a couple others, but the two big ones, I was like, all right, well, let me find out how's the school? How are they blending? How are the kids? What is your life like? I came with all the questions. So by the time we got here, we had already established ourselves and had made some friends that were already kind of looking out for us and just saying, hey, when you get here, let us know. We'll get together. We'll show you around. We'll take you to some places, things like that. So there's a large expat community that exists here in Querétaro, and you can be involved in it as little or as much as you want. It depends on you, and really it depends on your desire to be connected. If you don't want to be bothered, they ain't gonna bother you. But if you want to be bothered in all the things and tired going to all the events, then you can do that too.
Everyone, I'm Michelle Wedderburn. I live in San Miguel de Allende, which is located in central Mexico. I've been here for almost 5 years. I started out just wanting to live in another country. And since then, I've been able to develop some things to assist other people who are interested in moving specifically to San Miguel. I have Casa Elm, which is a guest house, and also Expat Life Mexico. And both things fall under the same brand. And we basically help people who are interested in moving to this part of Mexico have a very soft landing in San Miguel. We basically help people who are interested in learning more about San Miguel through relocation tours or just consultations or just coming and staying for a visit. And we really try to make that experience smoother for those that want to be here. When I first moved to Mexico, I remember meeting several, Black expats and mostly women. And they always said, well, what do you want to do here? And I always felt that I wanted to do like women's retreats. This part of Mexico just has a lot of great energy. It's calming. You can be in a really cool city setting, but you can also drive 15 minutes out of the city and it's super quiet and you're in tune with nature. So I always had like that in the back of my head. And then moving forward, just like you ladies, people start asking questions about your life abroad or moving around the world and how do you do it? And I realized there was a need for that and decided to go ahead and set up the consultation part. Something just kept telling me, go and look for a house. Go look for a house. And it was 1 week in particular. It was literally on my spirit. Go look for a house. And I found Casa Elm and I was just like, make it your own, make it what you need it to be. And that's pretty much where that came from.
I have lived in San Miguel de Allende in central Mexico since 2018. And I absolutely love my life.
And I am Tracie Collins. I live here in San Miguel de Allende as well, Mexico.
I was able to find my sweet spot moving to San Miguel and reinventing who I was in a way that suited me. And now I can also serve in a purpose of helping other people as well.
Did you move to Mexico to redefine your life, right? Did you move to Mexico to get more in touch with who you are and who you always wanted to be? Or is it just a side effect? Like, was this the original goal?
Yes and no. Yes and no. When I left the United States, it was really about leaving the ways of the United States behind. Because I checked all of the boxes. I did all of the things that they said I was supposed to do, and I was miserable. I ended up being miserable. Knowing that I could move abroad sooner really gave me something to look forward to. It just so happened that in the process, I had to shed and still am in the process of shedding who she was in the States and now embracing who I am here.
Because
I never understood how different life could be until life was different. I didn't know that I was going to feel the freedoms I feel now. For the first time ever, I felt completely in control of my own life. I didn't know that was going to happen until I just started living. And it was like, oh, I don't have to go with anybody. I don't have expectations on my life. My life has become very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't remember it ever being when I lived in the US. I could live in the US and not work, but people would treat me like I'm a psychopath. I don't have to have those conversations here. People, I think, feel like you don't owe them
Mhm.
that information. You don't owe them your life story. They're not entitled to your story the way people in places who focus on where you work, what do you do, and use that to define themselves really feel entitled to that information. But in the background, you're not thinking like, how can this person help me? Or is this based on the job they do? Is this a person I want to associate with or not? Yes, it's free to like get out of that system that is heavy, heavy, heavy in the US.
You can be a new person in a different place. You can be a different person in that place when you don't have the environment like telling you who to be.
Just kind of the way I viewed raising my kid. I think that was a big thing in terms of the traditional way of education and things like that. And moving here taught me about so many other ways to be and to cherish these years and not worry so much about that high end A+ zip code school in a neighborhood that didn't feel that I fit into anyway. And I feel that here I've been able to let a lot of those types of things go. When I first moved here, I came in with my, conditioned brain of, okay, where is he going to go to school and how much is it, and get that uniform and buy all the things. And within a few months, I realized, oh, that wasn't a good fit, and being flexible. Maybe in the past, I wouldn't have been so flexible because I didn't know or think I had choices. Yeah. I would have just said, oh, this is the school that we signed up for because this is the zip code we're in. And so I think just letting go of a lot of those things that we think has to kind of go a certain way. And also just like, learning about yourself and being able to be flexible, right? I've been able to grow a lot more than when I was in the US. I was very introverted in the United States. I stayed in my house. Once I moved here, I felt that I started opening myself up more, wanting to bring more people together so they could also experience the joy of living in a place that allows you to breathe and to be more human and to feel more human and to also pass that on. Like for me, it was a huge thing to see the trajectory of my life and my son's life changed in the future.
We went to 3 different restaurants last night. Myself, Bobby, and Alan. We met at an Italian restaurant. Then we walked to a cafe, spent 2 hours in there. Then we walked to Hank's, and then we got chicken wings. And this was up at midnight. We met at 5, and now it's midnight. And
it's a lot easier to find those people, right? Because nobody's for most people who are managing their life abroad, you figured out how to manage your time as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important.
Some people think that you choose a place just based on the cost of living. Mm-hmm. But Rashida she was at that point a retiree with retiree money and could pick some places to live. So why Mexico City?
So I'm very much like a vibey person. I was in Mexico City visiting and I was like, why don't I live here? Literally, I just feel it. I feel like I should live here. And I was with my really good friends and she said, why don't you? And I was like, because I have to. And what happened to me in that moment, and I hope happens for you one day, is I realized there was nothing in my way. Why I didn't live in Mexico City was because I never considered the fact that I could live outside of the United States. It just never dawned on me that I could choose to build a life outside of the United States. So it was in the middle of my year traveling around the world. I'd been to a ton of countries, but every time I came back to Mexico City, I was like, I just love it here so much. There's no and then I met my special person or I moved here for a job. No, it was the city calls me and I go where I'm called. That's it for me. That's my why. So I've been there for years. Love it, love it, love it. It's not for everybody. And I'm very clear about that. If you're not a city girl, don't do it. If you're I'd rather be somewhere rural, this is not a place for you. I didn't realize how much I love the city until I actually moved here. I love it.
What has been the reaction from people in the US knowing Mexico City?
It's weird because people project what they hear in the US media onto you, but the US media is lying to you, baby. America has really good publicity, but they're like that boyfriend that's good on paper. Good on paper, baby, but in real life, please.
Empty. It's empty. There's nothing in there.
But we're told so many places are scary, or something's gonna happen to you. In the beginning, people would be like, "Aren't you scared of a cartel?" And I'm like, I don't have cartel business. I'm not selling drugs or buying drugs. I don't think the cartel is gonna be too worried about me, right? Like, oh, you're American, you need to be on high alert. And I'm like, I feel safer in Mexico City than I do in most US cities. In Mexico City, when a horn honks, that's just someone saying hello, or something, right? Like it's
Telling that outside of Mexico City, in the small towns in Mexico, right, when you're driving, a honking horn means like, watch out, there's a horse about to cross the street. Okay, watch out for them.
It doesn't mean someone has a gun, right? The feedback I got was that it's not safe there. And what people were really saying was nowhere is as safe as America. It's the general gist. I've traveled for a long time. I was traveling the world for a year in a row. And everywhere I go, people would be like, "What? Are you sure?" Like, the idea is that nowhere is as safe as America. I didn't allow people to project their fears onto me because their fears are not my issue. Who is retired. She came to Mexico City and I could not get her to leave. Like, baby, you still live in my apartment. And now she lives in Mexico herself. She lives in Merida, Mexico. It's super safe. She loves it because it's hot. She likes the heat. She's got a backyard with a pool and she's planting fruit trees and things. And she has a whole new life out there with friends. Since she's moved to Mexico, she's meeting some like right here, right now. Let's have fun today, ladies. And that's who she is. And that's a good fit for her. Instead of waiting for her reward and waiting for the joy, she's amongst women who have gone out to seek their own joy. And living abroad, you will find a lot of women who are out there who are like, my time is now, right? And not like in a dangerous way or, we're not doing anything risky. It's just like, I want to go to the pool and hang out all day. So I'm going to the pool and hanging out all day. I want to eat good food. I'm gonna go eat good food, right? And like having buddies who match that lifestyle, because a lot of us who move abroad have very similar lifestyles. Having buddies that match that lifestyle has been perfect for her because she's in her 70s. She's in the streets more than I am. And she loves it. She loves it. And she has, her little street friends. And they're out here somewhere. She's hanging out with 20-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 30-year-olds. She's out doing whatever. 80-year-olds, for me in Mexico, there's so much joy. There's joy and fresh fruit. Like, hello. It's where I want to be.
I've been to
America and Americans, we're not very patient with people who don't speak English.
right.
In other countries, in Mexico, they'll let you talk at them in your broken Spanish and the 6 words you know. They'll let you use them in any order and watch you and then be like, okay, we'll figure this out together. I can order food pretty well because I order food all the time.
Priorities. Okay.
Right? I go to Pilates all the time. I can do Pilates pretty well, right? The things I don't know, when someone walks up to me on the street and starts saying something, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, out of context or things I don't know, there's always patience with me. If I'm like, I don't understand, right? Or like if I ask someone to repeat, they're not like, ugh, right? You silly person, you don't speak. No. They're like, okay, let's work this through. The next thing that's going to come up for me is money. And I think one of the things I love about Mexico is that there are a variety of different lives you can live and different places you can live at different price points, right? Mexico is not a country with a very large middle class. It's got a very large upper class and a very large, like, not a lot of money class. And so there are places you can live and, have a 20-bedroom home and a staff of 16. And there are places you can live in the country for probably like where your rent is like $200 a month, right? Like there are different price points. It's a huge country that will allow you to live any life you want to live. You've just got to do the research to figure out where you can get the things you want to live. But you can't assume that just because you move to another country, you're going to get like that baller lifestyle for like $2, right? And that's what I think a lot of people have in mind. Like, oh, you moved there because it's so cheap. You must, be living it up on like $30 a month. And I'm like, that's not a thing. in a lot of the world, community makes up for the things that are lacked in infrastructure. To Stephanie's point, I get to my apartment building and the security guards are like, yeah, I see you with that luggage, but what's that got to do with me? My mama, who don't live there and doesn't have the key card access she needs to get inside, always, a security guard is always helping her with her bag. She will not, like last time she hadn't been there in 6 months, and the man was, so he doesn't know her, dragging her bags. She's not even, I can't get into the building without showing my key card and getting access. She's in the lobby. She's gone through like three security doors.
Yeah.
Someone has opened 3 security doors for her and grabbed her bags. I'm coming downstairs because I'm like, oh no, you can't get in without me. And she's already made it to the elevator. They're like, older woman,
Yes.
you must need some help. And that's where I say like community makes up for the ways that infrastructure might not be there yet.
Mexico is it. I don't know that too many places do it better than Mexico. The bus transportation in Mexico is next level.
The luxury buses, them seats, no matter what luxury bus it is, it's better than any airline seat you've been on, right? It's not a lay flat bed, right? Okay. But it's a big seat. You get thingy, you got snacks, you got people leaving you alone.
One bus, the upper deck has 1 row of seats on one side and 2 on the other. So if you're alone, you don't have a neighbor. Next level.
And the buses the routes are well connected. The buses travel frequently. You can get from town to town to town to town super easily. It's not expensive.
Bus stations, good, clean,
Safe.
food in them. Yeah. Yeah.
You want some Popeyes? It's in the bus station. Go ahead. No, if you want to see a number of cities on one go, Mexico is a great choice.
Yes.
A great choice. I love bus travel in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down and 3 hours later, I'm in a place I've never seen before. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. Right? It's fun. It's a really good experience.